Hello there. So, for a while now, I've been thinking about getting back into playing Magic the Gathering and possibly other kinds of card games. I don't know. It's just been on my mind recently. So I went out and bought a fat pack of just whatever I found interesting at the store, and the Eldritch Moon caught my eye, so I decided to go ahead and get that, and I'm gonna go ahead and open it now and see what I've got. I wonder what that was. Oh, it's one of those security things, whatever. Okay, so right off the bat, we've got the book guide that comes with these fat packs that should tell you every card that comes in the set, not necessarily everything you're gonna get. Yeah. A whole list of cards. Now, aside from this set, the other sets I saw in the store were the Ixion and the Rivals Ixion or something like that, which I'll probably be getting in later videos, but for now I just wanted to get this one. Right off the bat, the first page shows several Eldrazi type monsters. Well, not really the first page, just page 18. Previous pages give lore about what's going on, which I'll read later. And as I figured based on the box art, there would be some zombie types, and there are. So let's take a quick look at those before I move on to the actual cards. Well, none of them really seem to go with the theme of my current zombie deck, so whatever. Up next, the box itself, which contains what should be 15 booster packs. Oops. 2 new deck boxes, like a bunch of land with some booster packs right here. Okay, yeah, just a bunch of lands. It also has these, which are the, what were these again? For double-face cards, which I've never used them. I've seen them, but I've never used them. Got our countdown die. It's a symbol facing. Yeah. So actually, when looking at the back of the box, I thought they were going to send a white die, which I would have been a bit disappointed with, because with the thing, I thought it would be better to have a black or purple die. But then in the end, they did end up sending a black one with I think a speckled gray on it. So I'm glad that it's not a white die. That's what I'm getting at, because I would have been more happy if it was just a purple die to go, because the box, while it is dark overall, the theme is purple. So why not? Oh well. 9. For some reason I thought it came with 15 packs. I guess it does say it only comes with 9, so I might only be able to build one deck with these. If that, let's see. We got 9 packs. I'm just gonna pick them at random and see what I get. Alright, first up is, I don't know who that character is. Probably in the book somewhere. Let's go find out. They had like a few pages saying, this is this character. Yeah, here she is. I won. Tamio. Guess I'll hold on to that book. Well, that opened easily. So the first card I got is called Drag Under. Not really sure how it's going to work out. I'll just scan them later or find them online and put them on screen. So Drag Under. It is a blue sorcery card. Return target creature to its owner's hand and then draw a card. Okay, just a pretty basic blue card. Next up we have a red instant. Otherworldly Outburst. What this one does is target creature gets a +1/+0 until end of turn. When that creature dies this turn, put a 3/2 colorless Eldrazi horror creature token onto the battlefield. And it says when that creature dies, so I guess it doesn't have to die the turn you play this. It's just keep in mind when that one dies you get the token. Otherwise I would have specified if that creature dies this turn, then you get the token, but it just says when it dies. Oh yeah, I should probably go ahead and read some of the flavor text on these. A tiny crack is enough to open the mind to... and they have some weird... Imrak Cool. Pretty sure that was in the book as well, I just didn't read very much of it. Card number 3 is a colorless creature, an Eldrazi insect. It is called It of the Horrid Swarm. Got some sort of millipede on there. And it has the ability Emerge, which costs 6 colorless and 1 green. You may cast this spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the emerge cost. You may cast this spell by... I'll get it eventually. You may cast this spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the emerge cost, reduced by that creature's converted mana cost. I got it. When you cast it of the Horde Swarm, put 2 1/1 green insect creature tokens onto the battlefield. So initially it cost 8. So the emerge on its own would cost 7. Do you have to pay the 7? Do you have to sacrifice? Okay, so to do the emerge ability, you have to sacrifice something. It's not an alternative unless you sacrifice. I don't know. For 4, it's okay. It's just not really my style. Rare black card. It's an instant called Succubus of Temptation. So far I'm pulling commons, which, well, I guess they wouldn't be common if I didn't. For this one, you draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. Well, it's not even a target player, it's just you, the player. Well, that last one didn't have player effects, but this one does. Restraint is for the meek. I don't know, I'm not big on losing life, but I guess if you really need 2 cards, you could always do that. Got a green instant. I'm getting a lot of instants. I see my next one's an instant as well. This one is Woodcutter's Grit. Target creature you control gets a +3/+3 and gains hexproof until end of turn, meaning it can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponent controls. Alright, cool. Costs 3 for that. The magic used by Kessingers is known for its practical applications. Got another red card. Also an instant, like I said. Called Borrowed Hostility. You do something about this lady. It's always getting on. There we go. That works. There. Alright. This instant card has Escalate 3. Pay 3 colorless. Pay this cost for each mode chosen beyond the first. Okay, so to choose one or both. So I guess if you chose both, you would have to pay 6. The first one. Each mode beyond the first. Sure. Well, the first option is target creature gets a +3/+0 until end of turn. Second option is target creature gains first strike until end of turn. So I guess if you wanted both, you would have to pay a total of 7 for this card. Oh well. I mean, that's quite a bit, just... could be a winning move. Up next is a colorless artifact equipment card, Cathar's Shield. Equipped creature gets a +0/+3 and has Vigilance. Let's see, what was Vigilance again? It doesn't actually tell me what Vigilance is on this card, so I have to remember or look it up. Alright, Vigilance. Attacking doesn't cause this creature to tap. Should have remembered that. But then again, I don't really play white decks. That's just a thing common with white decks, even though this artifact. Aside from that, they also has the Equip 3. You have to pay 3 extra to attach this to a target creature you control. Equip only as a sorcery, so only on your turn. A leader can inspire courage, but it is the smiths and the healers who truly keep hope alive. Alright, but next we got a white card, an enchantment aura. Lunarch Mantle. It's a bit of a dark card, but dark background, dark art, whatever. It's a white card that's dark. Enchant creature. Unlike the previous card where you have to pay to equip, enchanted creature gets a +2/+2 and has pay 1 of any color. Sacrifice permanent. This creature gains flying until end of turn. That's already nice, and then it gives you a little, not little, +2/+2 buff. And you have the option to have flying for return if you sacrifice one of your permanents. Which I guess if you don't really need a land, you could sacrifice a land, or a token, or just something you don't need. Up next is a blue creature, Spirit, Fog Walker. It has Skulk. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. Alright. It's power and toughness, so just simply if its power is 2 or higher, they can't block this thing. When Fogwalker enters the battlefield, target creature and opponent controls doesn't untap When Fogwalker enters the battlefield, target creature and opponent controls doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Cool. A white creature, spirit cleric, Geist of the Lonely Vigil. Now this one's uncommon. Well, the next few are uncommon. This creature has Defender and Flying. Defender means you can't attack, right? Alright, Defender. This creature cannot attack. Okay, I was right about that. Which seems odd to give that kind of creature a power number, but maybe the other thing is... It also has Delirium. Geist of the Lonely Vigil can attack as though it didn't have Defender, as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. So that includes different kinds of creatures, or does it have to be like a creature, a sorcery, an enchantment, an instant kind of thing? My guess is the latter, but I don't know. If I build a white deck, I'll have to consider that. Up next is a red enchantment, also an uncommon card, Blood Mist. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. That's useful. Double strike first. What's the difference between double strike and first strike? I know at first strike you attack the creature first, and then you attack him again. So it works in this whole order of operations kind of thing, but how does double strike work? Look it over again. That's what I get for not playing for years. This creature deals both first strike and regular combat. Does first strike mean you don't attack twice? You just don't attack at the same time? Is that it? Maybe I had first strike wrong this whole time. Okay, so it may have been wrong. First strike, just simply your creature attacks before its blocking opponent. Whereas double strike, you attack first and then attack the opponent again. That's cool. Cost 4 for that enchantment. Now we have a white creature. It's a spirit soldier and it's also an uncommon card. Drogskull Shieldmate. It has Flash. You may cast this spell anytime you would cast an instant. Anytime you could cast an instant. When Drogskull Shieldmate enters the battlefield, other creatures you control gain +0/+1 until end of turn. A white legendary creature, human soldier. It's a rare card, and what I remember, legendary creatures mean you can't have multiples of that type on the field. This is Thalia, Heretic Cathar. Boom. She has first strike. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponent controls enter the battlefield tapped. Oops, forgot to read some of the flavor text. Oh well. This one, salvation will not be granted by the Monarch Council. It must be earned at the edge of a sword, if necessary. And lastly, not including the token and land that I also have, we have a green creature, a werewolf horror, Ulvenwald Captive. Oh wait, what? Oh, so the two-sided cards, okay. Well, on side A is the Ulvenwald Captive, is that what I said? Whatever. This creature has Defender, meaning it can't attack, unless it has some rule against that. A 2/1 creature with Defender. A 1/2 creature with Defender. Seems odd. It has tap this card to add 1 green mana to your pool. It also has play 5 colorless and 2 green to transform Ulvenwald Captive into what I assume is the other side. Which for this is the Ulvenwald Abomination, a colorless card. So it goes from a werewolf, which is already ideally a transformation of a man into a wolf creature, and it transforms further into an Eldritch horror, which is now a... So you pay 7 to turn it into a 4/6 creature that doesn't have Defender, which is good. It means you can actually fight with it. So this has like a little symbol up in the upper left corner. When it's in the wolf, it's just, I'm not even sure, it's just like some kind of white and gray symbol. I'm not even sure if you'd call it a symbol, just kind of an icon, it's there. But on the other side, it actually has an Eldritch horror symbol in the corner, as opposed to this like blank spot. So the Abomination, aside from being a 4/6, has tap, add 2 diamonds. Is that a new thing? Unless that's just a symbol for colorless. Probably that. Add 2 colors to your mana pool. That was smart. So this is where I would need one of these to mark what it is if I chose to use it. Cool. And the last thing in this was just another island, and I got an Eldrazi Horror token, 3/2. Yeah, that took a while. On to pack number 2. This one looks like it has some sort of werewolf fire creature on it. Back to the road. The legendary creature I drew is also in the book. This one doesn't get its own special page though. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and just start with the last 2 cards since it's just land. Got a plains. And this time I get a zombie token, 2/2. Green instant. Spring Sage Ritual. There we go. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. You gain 4 life. Every evil destroyed is a strike against the enemy. Got a black enchantment aura. Boon of Imrakul. Boon of Imrakul. Sounds like a cool card. Enchant creature, and the enchanted creature gains +3, -3. All around Emrakul, life reformed in her image. We got a black creature horror. Black vampire horror, just a creature card. Words. Called Weirded Vampire? Guess it's kind of weird. It has Madness 3. Pay 2 colorless, 1 black. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost or put it in your graveyard. If you discard it, it goes to the exile. When this is happening, cast for its madness cost or put into your graveyard. Can I do that at any time when it's in the exile? Guess not, it says when you do. If, for say, someone forced me to discard a card, and I chose to discard this one which costs 4, I could instead pay 3 and cast it anyway. It's like a giant loophole just to cost 1 less to play it. Imrakul makes apparent those whom she has favored. She sure has. By making complicated rules. Alright, next we got another It of the Horde Swarm. I need to read that one again. I have a white instant. Nope. A white sorcery. I swear I can read. Iron Rites Cleansing. Exile target artifact or enchantment. Very simple. Impurities must be poured out. I swear my voice is getting worse as I continue to talk. Next up is a blue creature, human subtype. Enlightened Maniac. When Enlightened Maniac enters the battlefield, put a 3/2 colorless Eldrazi Horror creature token onto the battlefield. Luckily, I actually have one of those now. At last! Proof that it's not all in my head! Ha ha ha! Doesn't actually laugh, I just added that part because I'm crazy. We have a red creature, Vampire Knight. Bold Impaler. Guess if Vlad the Impaler was a red card. Cast an additional 2 colorless and 1 red so that Bold Impaler gets a +2/+0 until end of turn. Not much, but I guess it's something you could do. Burning with hatred for Nahiri. The Voldrin and Markov forces assaulted the Wart Markov. I'm gonna fucking stop doing this if I can't read shit. Assaulted the Warped Markov Manor with a collective fury not seen in centuries. Moving on. A white creature, human soldier. Steadfast Cathar. Whenever Steadfast Cathar attacks, it gets a +0/+2 until end of turn. That's a better ability, it just happens when they attack. The most resolute soldiers will press forward in the face of overwhelming odds. We're on to the uncommon cards, where we have a colorless artifact equipment type. Slayer's Cleaver. Equipped creature gets a +3/+1 and must be blocked by Eldrazi if able. But if it's not able, they just don't get blocked. Why add the if able part? Costs 4 to equip. Don't stop chopping until the pieces stop wiggling! Good advice for life. Next uncommon card is a red creature, a vampire berserker. Fury Blade Vampire. It's a 1/2 creature that has trample. Okay. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may discard a card. If you do, Fury Blade Vampire gets a +3/+0 until end of turn. It's a little better. A 1/2 with trample, I mean, oh no. Wraith all you want, filth. It will do you no good. Next uncommon card is a black creature zombie. It is Liliana's Elite. She gave him a spear and a nice hat. They are elite. Liliana's Elite gets a +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. Nice. If you're losing a lot of creatures, that is. You have to admit, Gideon, he has great form. Ooh, here's something interesting. I got a mythic rare. That's a lot of colors, but it is a Planeswalker. The character from the first card I opened. Now she has another version. No, I didn't find it. I'm an idiot. It's a character from the first pack I opened. Tamio, Field Researcher. Costs 4 in total, but you have to have a green, a white, and a blue to play. Multicolors. When I build a multicolor deck, I tend to not go any more than 2 colors. So, I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. First one, a +1. Oh, she has 4 at the start, but +1 is choose up to 2 target creatures until your next turn. Whenever either of those creatures deals combat damage, you draw a card. A -2 ability. Tap up to 2 target non-land permanents. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. For those of you who don't know, the pluses and minuses come from her health. So if the +1 ability increase her from a 4 to a 5, the -2 would decrease her from a 4 to a 2. So there's a -7 ability on here. Draw 3 cards. You get an emblem with, and emblems are kind of like tokens in a way, they just sit on the field, but this emblem will have, you may cast non-land cards from your hand without paying their mana cost. So they're much better than a token, and would really be worth it if you got that 7. So you get to draw 3 cards, additionally you get an emblem which allows you to play any non-land from your hand without paying their mana cost. So I think that would be worth having a 3 multicolor deck. Might be something to try. Up next is another uncommon 2-sided card. The first side is a blue creature human, Grizzled Angler. I cannot stop dropping this card. I almost did it again. Very blue. It has tap. It's a 2/3, which kind of mattered with the last one I had, but it's not so much with this one. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then, if there is a colorless creature card in your graveyard, transform Grizzled Angler into the Grizzly Anglerfish. Jeez, you went from a human to a monstrosity. Power goes up by 2 and your toughness also goes up by 2. It's an Eldrazi fish. It has the ability to pay 6 colorless. Creatures your opponent controls attack this turn if able. I didn't read the flavor text on the last one. I guess I'll read the ones on this one. There is no question that these waters are treacherous. But if there is one thing I've learned in all my years of sailing, ellipses. What did he learn? It's that the lure of the sea is impossible to ignore. And the last card of this is... I have an error card. Oh. No. No. Well, this sucks. I'll get to why in a sec. Okay. So, it's a red creature human soldier. Hanweir Garrison. Whenever Hanweir Garrison attacks, put 2 1/1 red human creature tokens onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. They gain haste. Meld with hand-weir battlements? I don't know what that is. We're ready for anything. Okay, so initially when I looked at this card, I thought it might be another Two-Face card because it has that white symbol in the corner. And let's go ahead and look at if it's on the list. Yes, it is. Hand-weir Garrison. There we go. Now, the reason this is an error card, and I'm so a little disappointed, is the backside. Bah, bah, bah. There is no picture. It's either this is an error or it's intentionally printed like this. I highly doubt that second thing because they always have the art. But I could be wrong. But it doesn't say how it transforms. So I'm not sure. This feels like an error. Wouldn't you think? But again, I wouldn't know how to transform this. Now, the reason I'm disappointed is because, well, apparently it's a rare card. And I think I got a misprint. So supposedly, whatever's on the backside, however you obtain that, would be a 7/4, has trample and haste. Whenever hand-weir the writhing township attacks, put 2 3/2 colorless Eldrazi horror creature tokens onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Again, I have no idea how you would transform this card. The other ones at least told you. Melds with hand-weir battlements. Maybe that's the key there. Let's go look in the book for that card. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be a red card. Okay, so hand-weir battlements is a land card, which does have an ability if you both own and control hand-weir battlements and a creature named hand-weir Garrison. Exile them, then mend them into hand-weir the writhing township, which is the backside without art, I guess. Let's see if there's art for this one in the book. The answer is yes, there is. So here's the land card I need. There's the card it would become, which ideally is the backside of the card. Oh, I see. It's not a misprint. Not a misprint. Because that's the land card that I don't have yet. Describes they merge together. This is just the bottom half. The top half is on the back of the land card. So, that's good news. It's not a misprint. It's not an error card. I'm slightly disappointed about that. Thought I had something unique going on here. Pack number 3. I have Cameo again. Maybe I can get that land card, because together they just make a big card. Alright, like before, we'll start with the back 2 cards, which I did not get a land this time. Instead I got another of these two-faced cards. I guess I could fill a few of these out since I do have some. But I got another zombie token. Different art this time. That's cool. Glad I don't keep getting the same tokens. So the first one out of this pack is a green instant card, Waxing Moon. Got a werewolf looking out into the moonlight. Transform up to 1 target werewolf you control. So what, like, yeah, this one would count. It is a werewolf creature, so it would fall into that category. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Cool. That has a much cheaper cost to what it wants for that card to transform, which is 7 as opposed to 2. That's cool. Cool, cool, cool. We have a white instant card with Escalate 2. Cost a colorless and a white. It is... oh, it's Borrowed Grace. So, Escalate 2. Pay this cost for each mode chosen beyond the first. Another one of these cards. Sensing a theme. Probably one for each color. This one, the first option, creatures you control gain +2/+0 until end of turn. Second option, creatures you control get +0/+2. So it's a very costly card to give all your creatures +2/+2. Say very costly because initially it costs 3. Then 2 for... maybe I've been reading this wrong. It's not so much that you have to pay for each one. You pay the cost of 3 to choose one ability, and if you want the other, you pay 2 more. That makes more sense. I feel like an idiot for the card I read before, but at least I got it figured out. So it only costs 5 to give all your creatures +2/+2. Now that I understand it, it's pretty good. It didn't seem too expensive before. I'm an idiot. Anyway, a green creature, human cleric, crossroads consecrator. Probably butchering that pronunciation. Additionally, it has pay 1 green and tap this card. Target attacking human gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So instead of sending your 2 weak humans out, you can just send one of them out and power them up. Humans are so fragile. I have been... May the steel of your blade match the steel of your soul, as I pour the power of Ecto Cooler into your blade. We have a black creature, zombie, the Wailing Ghoul. When Wailing Ghoul enters the battlefield, put the top 2 cards of your library into the graveyard. Did I already read this one? Probably read it in the book. I don't think I have it yet. No, I didn't have it yet. I was reading the zombie creatures in the book. Don't worry, sweet brother. Help is on the way. Got a blue enchantment aura. It is Spontaneous Mutation, which has flash, which, as I mentioned, read before, whatever, you may cast this anytime you would cast an instant. With this card, you enchant a creature, and that creature gets -X, -0, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. So just throw this on their powerful creature, and the more cards they put in your graveyard, the weaker they get. It doesn't kill them because it lowers their power and not their toughness. We have a red sorcery, Stancia Banquet. Can never get this right on the first try. Stancia's Banquet deals damage to target opponent equal to the number of vampires you control. I do have at least one. That's red. You also get a draw card. We can't win a war on an empty stomach, can we? We have a white creature, a human knight, Faithbearer's Paladin, which has lifelink. Damage dealt by this creature also causes you to gain that much life. His mace is the symbol of a previous expansion, I know that. Was that the Omega symbol or something? Whatever's on his mace. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. I've seen Cathars riding into battle without a hint of fear. Perhaps that is its own sort of madness. Alright, we got another blue creature. Once again, it's the Enlightened Maniac. No reason to read that card again. Alright, on to the first uncommon card. Blue creature, Spirit. Nebelgast Herald. That thing. It has flash. You may cast this anytime you cast an instant. It also has flying. 2/1 creature with flying. Whenever Nebelgast Herald or another spirit enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creature an opponent controls. We have the Slayer's Cleaver again. Don't stop chopping until the pieces stop wiggling. That's all you need to know. Next up is a gold card, or multicolor, really, whatever it's called. This one being blue and red. Creature spirit type. Mercurial Geist. It has flying. A 1/3 creature with flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Mercurial Geist gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Is that? Yeah, it's instant, so you could send it out into battle as a 1/3. And then if they chose to block it, you could play an instant and suddenly it gets powered up. Alright, we got another rare card. This one is a colorless creature in Eldrazi Horror. Eternal Scourge. Scourge? You may cast Eternal Scourge from exile. When Eternal Scourge becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, exile Eternal Scourge. Spell or ability. So it's just when it becomes the target, not if it dies. But if it dies, no matter what, it goes to exile. So they could cast something like Shock, which deals 2 damage to a creature, and it would be exiled even though it's not dead. However, you can play 3 again to bring it back from exile, so got that going for it. It has latched onto the space like an infestation. All efforts at eradication have proven futile. Quite fitting for the card, seeing how I can keep coming back. Our last 2 cards are cards I already have, or have shown, whatever. Ulvenward Captive, which turned into the Abomination. And once again, I got Hinware Garrison, which proves that it's definitely not an error. Next pack. It also has Tamio on it. Don't really know what that means. Anything for variation, I think it's just what kind of wrapping it ends up in. It might. It could be like certain cards only end up in certain pack types. I doubt it, but I could very easily see that being a thing to make you buy multiple packs. Different kinds of packs, I should say. So that's here. The back 2 cards. Got a forest. I also got a new token type. A 1/1 Devil. With an ability. When this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. What a devil. That's what pack number 4. We have a red sorcery. Distempter of the Blood. Target creature gets a +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. It also has madness on this card. Pay 1 red. If you discard this card, discard it into the exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost, or put it into your graveyard. So yeah, madness really is just a loophole to cost 1 less if you lose the card before you get the chance to play the card. Shucks. White creature, human cleric. Sigardian priest. 1 colorless and tap this card. You get to tap target non-human creature. Many whose faith was destroyed by Avakin turn to the only angel who remained true to humanity. Sure. This next one is Black Enchantment Aura. Boon of the Markul. Sure, I already read that one. Enchanted creature gets +3 and -3. Yeah, I already read that one. Got a black sorcery. Cemetery Recruitment. She's reaching for a hand coming out of the grave. Or beckoning. Kind of like doing that whole come to me. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If it is a zombie card, draw a card. There is a smoothness to my magic here that I don't find on any other plane. Okay, we got a green creature, druid human, primal druid. When primal druid dies, you may search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. The power of the woods is only ever borrowed. Okay, I have a black creature, zombie hound, Thrabin Foulbloods. Yeah, stop doing that. This card has Delirium. Thrabin Foulbloods gets a +1/+1 and has Menace as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. A creature with Menace can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. The famed hunting hounds of House Sasani continue to prove the quality of their pedigree. Alright, we have a 2-cost colorless artifact creature Scarecrow. Field Creeper. As it walks across the fallow field... Oh, it just has flavor text, no ability. As it walks across the fallow field, the awkward, whooping gait matches the rattling in the head to create a haunting rhythm that chills to the bone. 2/1 creature. Red creature, Vampire Knight, Bold Impaler again. It pay 3 to boost its power. A white creature, Human Soldier, Steadfast Cathar again. When they attack, they increase their toughness. Alright, on to the uncommon cards for something new. It's her again. It's Tamio. Well, it's not the Planeswalker card, it's just has art of Tamio again. But this is a blue enchantment, Lunar Force. When an opponent casts a spell, sacrifice Lunar Force and counter that spell. Okay, so basically you pay 3 in advance to have something on the field to counter whatever, whenever. Cool. Preemptive counterspell. Moonlight offers sublime warmth that brings me comfort sunlight cannot provide. This next uncommon card is a blue instant, Scour the Laboratory. With Delirium, Scour the Laboratory costs 2 less to cast if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. That's another theme of this pack. Fat pack is just, if there's 4 or more different types of cards in your graveyard, things will have a different outcome. Whether they get a little stronger, cost a little less, or whatever. Now, the benefit to actually playing the card. Draw 3 cards. Typical blue tactic. Need more cards. The answer's in here somewhere. Next uncommon card is a green creature human warrior. Hamlet Captain. Whenever Hamlet Captain attacks or blocks other humans you control, gain +1/+1 until end of turn. Bloodsuckers, howlers, monsters from beyond. It doesn't matter much. I won't have to face them alone. Unless I'm out of human meat shields. This is a costly card. Got a mythic rare. Cost 10, it's colorless creature, Eldrazi Boar. Decimator of the Provinces. Has an ability, emerge 6 colorless and 3 green. I think I read some with emerge once. Oh, it was that centipede thing, I think. You may cast a spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the emerge cost reduced by that creature's converted mana cost. Now in this case, it would probably be worth doing the emerge because the emerge is 9, which is already 1 less than its initial cost. But you could pay, I guess, yeah, you could pay a creature that maybe has like 4, sacrifice something like that, and now it only costs 5. Alright, so when you cast Decimator of the Provinces, creatures you control gain +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. Creatures you control. So this one included. It to become a 9/9 when it comes into play. This thing already has trample and haste. Wow, this really is a trying to win the game card. It already costs a lot and it becomes a 9/9 when you play it. Okay. Never built a deck with something that costs that much. I think the highest costing card I ever had was maybe 8. And lastly, we got another flip card. It is a white creature, human knight, the Lone Rider. This creature has first strike, and lifelink. At the beginning of the end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, transform Lone Rider. I'll read the flavor text in a minute. Oh, it even says right above. Didn't really know. I noticed the number, but I didn't realize till now. The number right above the power and toughness is what it becomes. So you don't have to flip it over, you just know what it'll be. So when the Lone Rider transforms, not even necessarily from the Lone Rider itself, it's just if you gained 3 or more life this turn. So I could just play some other card, a sorcery or something that says, you gain 3 life, or target player gains 3 life, whatever. Suddenly he just transforms. Another method is to just power him up and gain 3 that way. But when he transforms, he is now it that rides as one, an Eldrazi creature, Eldrazi horror. And he has first strike, lifelink, and additionally, trample. Is now a 4/4 creature. Horse and rider are often of one mind, but until this morning, I'd never seen them be of one body. On to pack number 5, which once again has that flaming werewolf thing. Haven't found that card yet. Okay, first 2 cards in the back. Plains. And a creature token, a spider with reach. 2/1. Means it can block flying creatures. So far I've gotten 4 flip cards, so I think it's guaranteed to get 1 in each pack. But on to this one. We have a green sorcery. Target is prey upon. Target creature you control fights. Target creature you don't control. Guess you get to choose the fight. Okay. It's got a werewolf fighting Eldrazi horror, essentially. We'll get at it again. Actually, no. Bring it up on screen. Enhance. The Somber Wald has become a hunting ground for the Drone Pack, the group of werewolves that have succumbed to the flesh-twisting power of Emrakul. Speaking of werewolves, I never read the flavor text on the one. I'll just have to remember if I find it again. I've already found it twice. And again, compared to the other ones, that is a common, so I might find it again. Our next card is colorless artifact equipment. Cultist Staff. Equip creature gets +2/+2, and it costs 3 to equip. The head of the staff doubles as a brand to atone. The head of the staff doubles as a brand to anoint the newly indicted. So they burn that mark into you, okay. Black creature, vampire berserker, Olivia's Dragoon. Discard a card. Olivia's Dragoon gains flying until end of turn, making it a 2/2 flyer. Displays of Valdrin Bloodlust are not restricted to glamorous banquets and lavish parties. Alright, once again we got the Wailing Ghoul. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 2 cards into your graveyard. Green creature, Human Scout, Woodland Patrol. Just a bunch of dudes taking a stroll through the forest. This card has Vigilance, which if I remember correctly means they don't tap when they attack, which is good for a card to play offense and defense. It's a 3/2 creature. Each had seen friends and family taken by the corruption, so each carried an axe at the other's request. Once again, we have the Weirded Vampire. Has the Madness thing to cost less if it's in the graveyard, being discarded, whatever. We got the Scarecrow again. Might just put these in the decks because I kind of like Scarecrows, man. You look at that one, it's just pretty cool looking, man. Just a 2/1 creature, nothing special. But it is an artifact, which could play in other cards. Got the Bold Impaler again. Is that the 3rd time now? And of course, it wouldn't be coincidences if I didn't also get a Steadfast Cathar immediately after a Bold Impaler. I feel like they're opposing factions at this point. On to something new with uncommon cards. I got 3 Impalers and 3 Steadfast. Alright, this is a black sorcery card. Oh man, this man really wants to whisper in the other guy's ear. Prying Questions. That's a mouth you could kiss. Target opponent loses 3 life and puts a card from his or her hand on top of his or her library, forcing them to draw a card again. Takes up a draw step. What remained of the Arch Inquisition found new ways to extract confessions. Alright, up next is a red and white instant Ride Down. Destroy target blocking creature. Creatures that were blocked by that creature this combat gain trample until end of turn. I mean, if you've already destroyed the creature, trample seems like overkill because they're already hitting. Unless there was a situation where 2 creatures are blocking said creature. Sure. The Order of St. Thraft cleared the roads of cultists and horrors, opening the way for the villagers to flee Thrabin. Some town in the war. Yeah, once again we have the Drogskull Shieldmate. Has flash, and when it enters the battlefield, other creatures I control get +0/+1. This is pack number 5, and I have another mythic rare. It is a black-green creature, human warrior, Grim Flayer. It's a 2/2 creature with trample. Whenever Grim Flayer deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put any number of them into your graveyard, and the rest back on top of your library in any order. This card also has Delirium. Grim Flayer gets a +2/+2 as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Alright, that makes it a little more. So, you play the card. If you can deal combat damage with the guy, you can potentially make him stronger to a 4/4. Okay. Yeah, that puts me up to 3 mythic rares so far. And the last card of this pack is another flip card, which so far confirmed my theory of 1 per pack. This one's an uncommon. It's a white creature, human cleric, Extricator of Sin. This is a 0/3 creature that can become a 3/5. Really need that land card for the other good one though. Oh wait, I thought I get a minimum of 1 flip card, but I technically have 7 now with these 2. Continuing with the Extricator of Sin. When Extricator of Sin enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another permanent. If you do, put a 3/2 colorless Eldrazi horror creature token onto the battlefield. So you currently only have 1 of those. This card also has Delirium. Oh, I'm gonna gain Delirium. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, transform Executioner of Sin. At least they all have a unique transformation requirement so far. This one does not have flavor text on the back, and on the front. It becomes the Extricator of Flesh. This Eldrazi horror creature gives you the benefit of your Eldrazi's you control have vigilance. They don't tap when they attack. Additionally, you can pay 2 colorless and tap this card to sacrifice a non-Eldrazi creature. And instead, put a 3/2 colorless Eldrazi horde token onto the battlefield. It's a human cleric. So you can So you're on the side of the humans up till you transform, and then you sacrifice all your humans to turn them into horrors, because the horrors are going to be stronger than your base humans. After the end, a new beginning. That's pack number 5. On to number 6. Oh, looks like we got Liliana on the cover of this one. The face of the pack herself. Before she became a necromancer, Liliana was training to be a healer of her home plane of Dominaria. Back 2 cards. We got another devil token. I've yet to see something in this fat pack that says summon a devil token. And we got another 2-faced card. Guess I won't run out of those anytime soon. Up to 12 of these. They give you 10 at the start. Okay, first thing. The green instant waxing moon. Once again, you can transform target werewolf, which I think I only have so far. It's just the one werewolf. I don't think there's been a second transforming werewolf, in which I have 2 of, which I guess is now a good time to finally read the flavor text on the werewolf, which I've neglected. Even on a plane as dark as this one, nature will organize a defense against the unnatural. The Eldrazi are all too practiced at twisting nature into unnatural. Okay, back to this pack. We have a white instant, Borrowed Grace again. I think it was this one where I figured out how that one or both thing works. Basically, I can give all my creatures +2/+2. Dylan's turn. Yeah. Alright, we got a black creature, human cleric. Skirshdag Supplicant. As an additional cost, you can pay 1 black and tap, discard a card. Each player loses 2 life. Lovely. It's a 2/3 creature. I can no longer stand by as these Skirshdag infiltrators rot the church from within. Even the Lanarch Council is compromised. What a fool I've become. And returning for the 3rd time is It, the Horde Swarm. Our favorite millipede of this pack. Has emerged 6. Oh yeah, and this one, when it comes into play, when you cast it, you get 2 1/1 green insect creature tokens. Haven't gotten one of those yet, but I've gotten 2 devils. No way to get them though. No way to play them. Black instant succumb to temptation. Again, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Something new. A red creature human shaman. Thermo Alchemist. It's a 0/3 creature with defender. Tap Thermo Alchemist deals 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, untap Thermo Alchemist. Madness can't touch a mind ignited by genius. A white creature, human soldier, Fiend Binder. Whenever Fiend Binder attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. They gotta automatically tap their creature before they have a chance to pick their defenders. Cool. She had not believed any shred of humanity remained in these writhing monsters until the twisted form of her partner appeared before her. Aw. Kill it. A blue sorcery. Contingency plan. Gaze into the eyes, for they are the windows of the soul. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest back on top of your library in any order. Improvision is for those who fail to prepare. That could actually work out well with some of the have this many different type of cards in your graveyard effects that are in this pack. A red creature vampire. Stensia Innkeeper. When Stensia... Am I reading that right? Stensia... Sure. When Stensia Innkeeper enters the battlefield, tap target land an opponent controls. That land doesn't untap during the controller's next untap step. Hey, needed 1 more mana to pull off that next card? Fuck you. The perils of the road, you say? Don't worry. You won't have to face those again. I'm getting some different red cards and not just the bold and paler, bold and paler, bold and paler. On to our uncommon cards. A blue instant. Unsubstantiate. Yes. Return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. Nicely done, Face. There's someone named Face? You always were good at disappearing acts. Who's called Face? Or are you just calling the creature in the art a face, maybe? That could be it. We got a black sorcery. Whispers of Imrakul. Target opponent discards a card at random. And Delirium. If there are 4 or more card types among the cards in graveyard, that player discards 2 cards at random instead. Your thoughts are no longer your own. Really brings out the madness. A green creature snake. Noose Constructor. Gets wrapped around a skeleton. This 2/2 creature has reach. Discard a card. Noose Constructor gets +1/+1 until end of turn. More rope may not be necessary. Who said we were using rope? Alright, we got a rare card. A black creature, Vampire Horror. Stormkirk Condemned. Or discard a card. Vampires you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Activate this ability only once each turn. Unlike that snake where you could keep discarding cards to power it up for a turn. Well, then again, this would affect more than one creature, so they gotta put a limit on it. Blood from the Vein is the finest vintage to accompany a feast of the mind. And lastly, we got another flip card. A different kind of werewolf. A red creature werewolf horror. Smoldering Werewolf. It's the creature from the booster pack covers that I was looking for. Got one. This is the 3/2 creature. When Smoldering Werewolf enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each of up to 2 targets. Not players, though. Just, well, no. Yeah, it says 2 target creatures. I didn't finish reading it. It's not players. With the additional cost of 4 colorless and 2 red, transform Smoldering Werewolf. How many of those transform by just paying for it? I think so far it's just the werewolves. Yeah, so far it's just the werewolves where you just pay more mana to transform them, which I guess is why that green card is so good, because you can automatically transform a werewolf. And it would transform into the Eldrazi Werewolf, Erupting Dreadwolf. This 6/4 creature, whenever Erupting Dreadwolf attacks, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Now I hit the players, and now I drop the card. And now for the flavor text. Never thought I'd see the day. I'd be wishing to see just a plain old werewolf. Heck, I'd settle for anything that even resembled a werewolf. Well, you're right. It doesn't really look like a werewolf anymore. Pack number 7. Got Liliana again. Okay, our last 2 cards are just another one of those. But hey, we got a new token. It's a zombie token, but it's got the stars. I haven't got anything that can play that kind of token yet, but I do own some cards that do that. Still haven't gotten that land card. So Henwire Garrison so far isn't playable in my books. First up, we have the blue creature, Zombie Horror, Ingenious Scab. 2/3 creature with prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets a +1/+1 until end of turn. Additionally, you can pay 1 blue. Ingenious Scab gets +1/-1 till end of turn. Heads and shoulders above the rest. As it currently is, you can only do that additional ability 2 times, unless you powered it up beforehand, or it dies. Fun. Got a green instant. Spring Sage Ritual. Once again. Destroy target artifact or enchantment and gain 4 life. This is the kind of card that would work well with the, what was it, Lone Rider, who simply just needed you to gain 3 or more life in a turn to transform. Next we have a black creature, Zombie Hound, Thraben Foulbloods. Once again. They have Delirium for a boost and the +1/+1. Then we have a green instant, Grapple with the Past. Looks like an Eldritch horror creature. Must be remembering something as they're holding on to a bear, stuffed animal. kind of thing. Put the top 3 cards of your library into the graveyard. Then you may return a creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. Imrakul does not grant wishes. Desires simply align to her will. Got a black creature zombie, the Gravity Unhallowed. 2/4 creature. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Gravity Unhallowed. We entered the church in search of solace, but it became clear we wouldn't find it here. Alright, we have red instant Borrowed Hostility. Certain I already had this one. Yeah, this is the first one that I read with Escalate, and I didn't quite get it then. But now I do. Or I think I do. So you pay 1 to choose one or both, and then you pay 3 more to do the other one as well. Instead of 7 like I thought. We got a white creature, human soldier, Thrabin Standard Bearer. Additionally, pay 1 colorless, 1 white, tap this card, discard a card, a lot of effects, just to put a 1/1 white human soldier creature token onto the battlefield. That is a lot to do. And you also have to discard? I mean, paying 2 and tapping the creature I think would be enough, but you also have to discard for a token? Why would I do that? I mean, this creature costs 1 to play, but you want me to pay 2, tap this card, and discard a card, just to summon a token. I think that discard a card part needs to be removed. The Uncorrupted railed under Thalia's leadership and Sigarda's banner. Probably won't be using that card. It's a lot of steps for a freaking token. A 1/1 token at that. It's been a while, but we got Cathar's Shield again. I think there's only a second copy of this card. Equip it to a creature to give him +0/+3 and vigilance. Got a blue creature, human wizard, Exultant Cultist. 2/2 creature, when Exultant Cultist dies, draw a card. Amid the gibbering chorus that rose from the Downyard Temple, Face recognized a single word. Imrakul. There's that Face guy again. Who's Face? On to our uncommon cards. A white instant. Repeal the Abominable. Prevent all damage that would be dealt this turn by non-human sources. Good for your human deck. Sure, a lot of human cards in white colored decks. Fight for a better future, even if you may not live to see it. Alright, we have a white creature, human scout, Courageous Outrider. 3/4 creature. When Courageous Outrider enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a human card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. 1 Silvery Blast signaled that she wouldn't be arriving at Thrabin alone. Got a colorless creature, Eldrazi Crab, with a ship for a shell. Vexing Scuttler. It's 4/5 creature with a merge, 7, 6 colorless, 1 blue. You may cast this spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the emerge cost reduced by that creature's converted mana cost. When you cast Vexing Scuttler, you may return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Got a rare card, a blue enchantment aura, Imprisoned in the Moon. I hear one of the deadliest Eldritch horrors reside there. Enchant creature, land, or planeswalker. Enchanted permanent is a colorless land with tap. Add 1 colorless to your mana pool and lose all other card types and abilities. Huh. Okay, I guess this would work for enchanting an opponent's card. But you wouldn't want to do it to one of your own. Simply because whatever card you enchant loses all other card types and abilities. You essentially just turn it into a simple land. A colorless land. Only the vault was great enough to hold Imrakul. And the last card of this pack is another transforming one. It's a green creature, Werewolf Horror. That's my 3rd werewolf. Kessig Prowler. Well, 3rd different type of werewolf. 4th one in total. And this one simply just has pay 4 colors, 1 green to transform Kessig Prowler. From a 2/1 into a 4/4. Cineas Prowler. That thing's messed up. Okay. This is a Drowsy werewolf creature. Cineas Predator. Like I said, it's power on one side, Predator on the other. Sinious Predator can't be blocked by more than one creature. So the opposite of, what was it? I don't remember. Starts with an M. The one where it can't be blocked except by 2 or more. This one you can only be blocked by 1. In the wake of Emrakul, some werewolves' human forms are lost forever. A different kind of transformation has taken place. Kind of picked that up from the first one I got. Fact number 8. Back with Tamio. Oh, this one. There it goes. The other one's just like broke open easily. This one's a little bit longer. Last 2 cards. Another freaking devil. I still don't have anything to play these, so they're just there. Another one of these. It's raining now. Lovely. Still got one more pack to go after this. Alright, so first we have a blue sorcery. Drag Under. Turn target creatures to its owner's hand and draw a card. I don't think I got this one yet. Some took to their boats to escape the unfolding nightmare. The remains of their vessels now litter the shores of Nephalia. Borrowed Grace again. White instant. Escalate to basically give creatures I control +2/+2. Red instant. Otherworldly Outburst. Sounds familiar. Might have been from like the first pack. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. When that creature dies this turn. Yeah, I think this was from the first pack. When this creature dies this turn, put a 3/2 colorless drowsy horror creature token onto the battlefield. A tiny crack is enough to open the mind to Emrakul. Green instant. Woodcutter's Grit. Also seems familiar. Target creature can always get +3/+3. Yeah, and hexproof. Yeah, I already read this one. It's known for its practical applications. A black creature zombie, Wailing Ghoul again. Put top 2 cards on into the... I'm getting a lot of repeats in this one, because here's a Steadfast Cathar. Next thing you know, I'm going to get Bold Impaler. Blue instant. Convolute. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. You have to pay 3. At least they have to pay more. There's no sense arguing with insanity. A red sorcery, Make Mischief. Make Mischief deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Put a 1/1 red devil creature token into the battlefield. Finally. It has, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Finally got something to play those devils. I have 3 of them. A tiny desk is as good as an invitation. I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. On to the uncommon cards. Red creature zombie. Haunted. Dead. A ghost. 2/2 creature. When Haunted Dead enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. So yes, 2 for the price of 1. Additionally, pay 1 colorless, 1 black. Discard 2 cards, return Haunted Dead from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And of course, by doing that, you also get the spirit. That's cool. It sucks they have to discard 2, but it's another way to play the card. White enchantment aura. Faith Unbroken. Enchant creature you control. When Faith Unbroken enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until Faith Unbroken leaves the battlefield. As you know, when your faith breaks, they get their shit back. It doesn't stay exiled. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Ooh, so you got a Trent. Well, Dryad. A green creature, Dryad Horror. Gnarlwood Dryad. Guess can't call it a Trent since I keep saying the word Dryad. This is a 1/1 creature with Death Touch. Essentially anything with Death Touch. If it does damage to another creature, that creature dies. Unless it has the ability that prevents it. This card also has Delirium. Gnarlwood Dryad gets +2/+0 as long as there are 4 or more card types among the cards in your graveyard. Popular. As Emrakul's influence radiated across Innistrad, evacuation from Kessig's remote villages became increasingly difficult. Got a rare card, green-white creature, a human knight, Heron's Grace Champion. It's a 3/3 creature that has flash, meaning it can play at any time an instant can be played. Lifelink, you gain life equivalent to the amount of damage it deals. And when Heron's Grace Champion enters the battlefield, other humans you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink until the end of the turn. Sagrada was the last uncorrupted Archangel, but she would not have to fight alone. Alright, we're on to another transform card. A green creature, werewolf horror. It's the third green werewolf now. Shrill Howler. It's a 3/1 creature. Creatures with power less than Shrill Howler's power can't block. Neat. And like all the other green werewolves, your transformation requirement is 5 colorless, 1 green to transform Shrill Howler. Transforming it from a 3/1 into a 3/5. Doesn't get any stronger, but it definitely gains toughness. It's now an Eldrazi werewolf, Howling Chorus. Creatures with power less than Howling Chorus's power can't block it. Yeah, it specifies it. Whenever Howling Chorus deals combat damage to a player, put a 3/2 colorless Eldrazi horror creature token onto the battlefield. And the last one of this pack is a colorless artifact equipment, the Cultist Staff, but this time it's holographic. Shut off. Once again, the equipped creature gets +2/+2 and it costs 3 to equip. And now for the last boost pack of this box, which once again says Tamio on the cover. Definitely the popular one. Okay, our last 2 cards are another one of these. Guess you really need them with this set since there's so many of them. And we got a zombie token. 2/2. It's a pirate. Yarr. Starting off with the green sorcery Prey Upon, where you get to choose to fight between 2 creatures. Got a black creature Vampire Berserker, Olivia's Dragoon, again. Discard a card to give this creature flying until the end of turn. Up next is a green enchantment, Wolfkin Bond. It's an aura card. You enchant a creature. When Wolfkin Bond enters the battlefield, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield. The enchanted creature also gets a +2/+2. Got black creature Human Cleric Skurstag Supplement again. Discard a card. Each player loses 2 life. Got green instant Grapple with the Past again. I'm saying the word again a lot. Put the top 3 cards from your library to the graveyard. You can return a land from your graveyard to your hand afterwards. White enchantment aura, Lunarch Mantle. Again. An enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has sacrifice permanent. Creature gains flying until end of turn. Got blue creature Human Wizard, Exultant Cultist again. When this creature dies, you draw a card. Got the red instant Borrowed Hostility again. Basically, pay its maximum for target creature gets +3/+0 and has first strike for a turn. We have white creature Human Soldier, Thraben Standard Bearer again. And this one is the ridiculous process to get a 1/1 token on the field. On to the uncommon cards. We have the black sorcery Prying Questions again. This whole pack has been the word again. There may have been one unique one so far. Target opponent loses 3 life, puts a card from their hand to the top of their library. Blue instant Unsubstantiate again. Turn target spell or creature to its owner's hand. Ah, finally something new. Black creature Vampire Rogue. Vampire Cutthroat. The 1/1 creature with Skulk. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. It also has lifelink. Damage dealt by this creature also causes you to gain that much life. Not all monsters have tentacles. You got a rare card. A black creature zombie. Crypt Breaker. It's a 1/1 creature. Pay 1 colorless, 1 black. Tap this card and discard a card. That's so much. But at least this time you get a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. It was already stronger than a 1/1 white token. Same conditions. Cost the same to play this card, cost the same to get the token on the field. And this even has something additional to it. Tap 3 untapped zombies you control. You draw a card and lose a life. At least it has something else going for it. And lastly, our transforming card. It's a blue creature homunculus. Curious homunculus. Okay. Just homunculus reading book. It's a 1/1 creature. Tap this card, add 1 colorless to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 3 or more instants and or sorcery cards in your graveyard, transform Curious Homunculus from a 1/1 into a 3/4 Eldrazi Homunculus Voracious Reader. Isn't that lovely? And this thing has prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. I don't think that includes lands, even though they are non-creature spells, technically, maybe. I don't know, I have to double check on that. Also, instant and sorcery spells you cast 1 less to cast. No flavor text on the front, but there is one on the back. Good books make you savor each word. Although lands are permanent, they aren't cast as spells. Play land, just put it on the battlefield. This happens immediately, so no player can do anything. Only during... Okay, so yes, they are not considered spells, so that would not power up this one. Kind of figured. Well, that's it. That's all the booster packs. Next will be to see what kind of decks I could build with the cards I've acquired through this fat pack. So I'm going to go ahead and see what kind of decks I can build. I'll probably try to build one around the Planeswalker that I did manage to get. And the second one either being a pure black, which is ones I usually try to build, or a pure red, as those are colors not involved in this card. So, let's see what I come up with. I've got something to hang on the wall. Alright, so with the cards I got in this fat pack, I was able to make 2 decks out of it. One which ended up being a mostly white with blue and green. The theme around this one is it's a human deck with additional cards to help draw for the mana. To like go through my library to try and draw for the any extra lands I may need for the blue or green cards. This deck, of course, started with the fact that I did have a Planeswalker, so I figured I should try and do something around that. I went ahead and threw in just whatever of the transforming cards I could, just because since that's something relatively unique to the set. I'm sure it's been done in other sets before, in fact I know it has, but figured why not just put those in anyway. Actually, speaking of which, I forgot to actually put in these face cards that you need for those, so I'll go ahead and do that now. One deck at a time. One for the Grizzled Angler, one for the Extricator of Sin, lastly one for the Lone Rider for this deck. And I was able to put each deck at around, actually at exactly 60 card count. My human deck one has 11 plains, 5 forests, and 5 islands. Initially I wanted to go ahead and put the Scarecrow card in this deck because the Scarecrow counts as both an artifact and a creature type, so that way if it's in the graveyard it counts as 2 of those 4 that you need. However, I ended up putting it in my other deck. My other one being a black and green deck, mostly black. And it pretty much took all the black cards I gained in this set. I actually have to do a few more of those cards for my werewolves. That being Shrill Howler, 2 for the Olven Wolf Captive, and lastly 1 for Kessig Prowler. Now this deck is, like I said, mostly black with some green. It's mainly a zombie and werewolf deck. However, really I was just working with whatever cards I had left. As I said, I almost used all but like 2 of my black cards. I even threw in some that I didn't want to put in because their effects didn't really resonate with the rest of the deck, but I was hitting that card that I needed to hit that 60 card number, which I guess I could have built it with a few less than that. However, I guess that's a downside to trying to build your deck solely around a fat pack, is you're not going to have all the cards you need to make a coherent deck. But I feel the 2 that I made are decent enough as they are to get started with. They will need more improvement later on as I get more cards. And I think lastly the thing I wanted to mention is I didn't really strive to use any of my red cards at all, mostly because if I was going to make a red deck, I definitely would have wanted to use Hanweir Garrison, but I'm missing the other part that would have made that effective, being the land card, to where you could have used the ultimate card by combining them together. Plus, you know, Fire Werewolf, that would have been cool. However, I already had, one of these decks already uses 3 colors, and I wasn't going to throw fire into my black and red, my black and green deck as well. In order to make it a little more sustainable, I decided just to keep it at those 2 colors. So that's the end of this video here. I do plan on doing more of these in the future, and possibly even doing a mini version additional weeks, just opening one random booster pack that I get from a store or something. If you're wanting to specifically know what cards I used to put these 2 decks together, I could create a separate video on it later. However, this one's already running pretty long as it is, so if that's something you're interested in, just let me know and I can put together where I specifically show you what cards I put together for these 2 decks, as good or bad as they may be. In order to see how that works out, I'd have to actually have a chance to play with someone. And that's all for now, so just let me know what you think in the comments, and until next time, thank you for watching.